I'm feeling, hey, I'm feeling happy. I agree. Hey, yeah. Let's go. Hey, party shot, city boy, got my ball in the garden, feel my shit up. Hey, life sweet with a drink in my hand, no vibe when the DJ pull up. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling happy. Me no deal with no stress, me no settle for no less. Me go about till me live foul. Work hard for the dope, me not do it on the low. Pop bottles like a real gun. No girl on the dance, me want take 50 woman have a boom boom marathon. Stamina when we drink up, settle up, bartender fill the glass up. Me don't want no bad mind in the club tonight. Mafia ball and leave alone, mafia ball and leave alone. Aye, party shot, city boy, them a ball in the garden, feel my shit up. Hey, life sweet with a drink in my hand, no vibe when the DJ pull up. I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling happy.
Ja, god kväll. Välkommen tillbaka till Radio Botkyrka. Det är 91,6 som vanligt. Det är lördag idag. Det är klockan 7. Detta program sen vi varje lördag, det är Kebab på spåret nu här. Som jag sänder samtidigt, eller ihop med Joseph Senghore och Generalen som vanligt. Och som sagt, idag kommer vi väl ta det här programmet på engelska som vanligt. I vanligt fall så kör vi denna program på svenska då. Men ju med att idag vi har en annan gäst och vi vill att programmet ska nå större utsträckt och längre folk, alltså bredare liksom publik då. Det är därför vi kommer köra denna program på engelska. Thank you very much all of you and welcome back to the radio. Today is Saturday, as we usually do, 7 o'clock Radio Botkyrka 91.6. This is your host Keba Jame, who send your program Kebab på spåret in Swedish, but today, as I stated earlier, that the program would run in English due to circumstances that we want to have a wilder public and more audience that will follow this program, because I mean we have an exceptional guest in the studio and he's a huge person. Therefore, we want all the entire Gambians, but even the Africans who are living in Sweden, to understand and to know the person we are inviting here. As we usually send this program, is me, Keba Jame, alongside with Joseph Senghore and General. As you know, today we have Brace from the Fugitives in the studio. We are honored and privileged by having him here. Telling him, welcome to the radio.
Thank you very much, Kev. And it's nice to be here. You know, it's nice to be here. Nice to be here. It's been a minute.
General,
yes,
welcome. Today is Saturday. What is that? What are your thoughts today?
Well, I was just invited to meet the brother here who just came around from
Fugitives.
Fugitives,
yeah.
And it was a pleasure to meet him.
Yes.
And I'm gonna sit by and listen to him.
Yes.
And see what's gonna happen tonight.
Yeah, man.
And
Sit by and listen to him.
Yes.
but we would like to have you within the conversation too. So it is wonderful to have you here as usual. You know, I'm always glad to have you here. I mean, your ideas, I mean, your inputs always, you know, always mean a lot to us and for the people in the commune here. So we are glad to have you here, General, as usual. Brace.
Yes, I'm here.
Me, I know exactly who Brace is.
Yes.
But the problem is, can you explain shortly, I mean, who Brace, the person in the studio, is today?
Yo, I'm Breeze, man, a.k.a. Joseph. That's my real name, but like I roll with the Breeze. I'm what I can say. I can say I'm the original member of the Fugitives. It was a Gambia hip hop group that started in the late '90s, and we were very political and very also like anti-government and kind of. We're like kind of radicals, and we were the first actually hip hop group to actually start the movement in Gambia right now. and I roll with like four guys that I move with. And right now, everybody is kind of split up, but we still have communication with each other. And just recently, we released a video in Gambia. All of us were there. We did a music video together called Salam Alaikum. You know, trying to, you know, just reinvigorate everything again. You know what I mean? So at this moment, I'm finally working on my solo project, finally. And that's why I'm here today to promote and, you know, chill with everybody in 96.
Yeah,
91.6
Fugitives
Radio.
Yeah, the pleasure is ours, man.
Yes,
to have you, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it meant a lot to us, you know, to have such a big profiles, you know, in our studio.
Yeah, thank you very much, brother.
I mean, but you stated a little bit about the split. I will come to that. But I just want to know. I mean, the tremendous start.
Yeah.
And the huge success
Yeah.
that Fugitives did, you know, when they just hit. I mean, when they just started, you know,
Yeah.
with the music. I mean, it was a blow through the country.
Yeah, it was. The thing is, like, we are not, like, actually, like, split. It's like, you know, no, life takes its course. You know what I mean? And, you know, everybody's, like, kind of grown up and, you know, it's like you have family life there and, you know, a little responsibility here and there. But we're still like, we're tight-knit. And we still link, and we're about to do music anyway. So, it's not the end. It's called Food for Life. There was a reason why we call it Food for Life. So it's like, no matter what the consequences is, it's like, you know, like most groups, you know, when we've worked together for many years. Can you imagine? We started like in 97. And we went on the road all the way. So the last video we did was just like last year. You know, so it's been like, you know, it's been like on and off. It's like been like a decade. So more than like almost 2 decades, I can say. You know, so you know, and you know, when time takes a little bit, but like we're still a tight knit family though. We're still tight.
But whose idea was to
Oh.
create the Fugitives?
Oh well,
How did you get that inspiration to at least start a group when nobody in that time was doing it?
Exactly. So the funny thing was, like, back in the day, you know, like where we come from, and music was kind of bad in that sense, because like my parents, everybody, they were like, oh, it's cool, and you know, music is for you know, for crazy people, and it's like we had that kind of mentality. Gambia was like way back when we started.
Exactly.
And I remember there was a organization for youths in Gambia called Lend a Hand.
Okay.
Lend a Hand by Mr. Jiba. He was a teacher. And he started this organization with students, and it was like he rented like a house, and students used to come there after school. There used to be like after school programs, and they had like studies and all those stuff to help the kids in the neighborhood. So they decided to do a talent show, and the talent show, I used to sing. The thing, the part is like that part has always been there, but it was not like, it was all for joke, you know. So, and during that talent show, we had it at Carrera Beach Hotel, and during that talent show, there was a guy called Tasman.
Yeah.
Tasman was in another group called Black Nature.
Yeah.
Tas was in another group they called Black Nature. He was with those guys. That's where he started. So, and I was performing on stage with I don't know whether you know him, Banky Gray Johnson. Yeah, Banky. I was performing with him on stage, and the thing is, me and Tas, we're neighbors. We used to see each other.
Pipeline, huh?
Yeah, we used to see each other, but we never said hi. And he was like, he was with the other crew. So, and he saw me on stage, and he was surprised. He was like, he never knew that I could sing and rap and all of those things. So, he saw me the next day. He came to my house. He just showed up. He just came to my house and knocked the door. I was like, oh, hey, yo, how you doing? I was like, yeah. He said, I saw you yesterday. I was like, yeah, I saw you too. You were performing with this group. And he was like, yeah. I have an idea, man, because like I didn't know you could sing. You were really good, and I want to start a group. And I was like, I told you already have a group. Why you want to start a group when you already have one?
Exactly.
He was like, no. But those guys that live far, that was his excuse was like they live far away.
Okay.
And he can't be going back and forth all the time. So he was like, okay, since we live in a neighborhood, we can start something together. And that time I wasn't like I wasn't part of anything. You know, I was just like doing my thing. And he told me, yeah. I said, okay, no problem. You know, then he said, I'm going to come to your house this evening, and I'm going to introduce you to the other guy. And he was a Mohawk.
Mohawk. Oh.
Yeah, Mohawk, me and Mohawk, we live opposite each other. And he, too, I used to see every day. And we never say hi to each other. It was just, we never said hi. We never said hi to each other. We're just like back and forth. So, and I never knew this cat could rap. So in the evening, he came to my house. And he took me to Mohawk's house. And the moment I walked in Mohawk's bedroom, I could hear this loud music, and I come into the room and this guy is standing in front of the mirror rapping. It was very hot in the bedroom. He was rapping, he's sweating, and doing some serious moves. I was like, who is this guy? It was like, he's the one who's like walking around like a good boy, you know, and then all of a sudden he's like standing in front of the mirror, like sweating and rapping. I was like, okay. And then it's like, Taz introduced me to him. He was like, oh, yeah. And Mohawk was like, we used to call him Hudson River. He was so into the American hip hop that it was like mad. So we had a nickname for him. We used to call him Hudson River. And he was like, yeah. And he was like very cocky attitude. And yeah, man, you know, I can rap, I can do this. And I was like, okay, bro, easy, man. You know, easy. And he was like, okay, we need to start a group. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. It's like, since we all live in the same neighborhood, we can start a group. So I was like, okay. And the first day we wrote the first song, and where the song was about because those days we had problems with young kids that were living on the streets, that they used to go to we call it the Islamic school, but like the Dara, yeah. And the Islamic teachers used to send them out in the streets to go and beg, to go and beg, and you know, all those things. So we did a song about it, and that's how it started. But that time we didn't have a recording studio. There was nothing. There was nothing. It's like right now, it's like when I see the youths coming up, I'm like, oh, you guys are lucky. But when we started, we didn't have anything. So we had a friend. His name is Hadim. He lives in Canada now. And what he had was a Windows 95 computer. His old Windows 95 computer.
But those days, you know, it was a
big thing to have a computer, yeah. And he had this little computer mic, you know, those little small ones, yeah. And he had, and we used a Windows Windows Media Player or some kind of program, yeah. And he was like, yeah, we went to his house and he put the mic on the floor, and he's like, you have to stand like a meter away from the mic, and you guys just sing your song. And that's how we started. We recorded the first song called Dongodara, and Dongodara was like for those kids that were. And that's how everything started, you know. Everything just started Friday. And when we started, it was a big issue with my parents, Mohawk's parents.
As usual.
Yeah, because Mohawk's father was a big imam. Yeah. And you know, it's forbidden inside their family to do music. Is haram and all of that. and it was always an issue because my father was always real. He was like, oh, it's school, and you know, like, you know. Those days, man, after high school, there was nothing else for you to do. So you have to find a way to get yourself to occupy yourself. So we started the music, but my dad was so against it. So like even when I go and do the small school shows, he used to lock the gate. Yeah. He used to lock the gate.
For you not to
for not to go out. Or so if I go out, he locks the gate. I had to jump over the fence and tell my sisters to open the door for me. And the next day, when we go up in the morning, it's war. Yeah, it was war. It was like total war. And Mohawk too was the same. His like he had a delegation of like the elders from his father's side coming over to the house and like making serious issues out of it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was not easy during those days. It was very hard. It was very hard to.
Everybody knew the Fugitives as one of the most controversial.
Yeah.
rap group we have in the
Yeah,
country.
we were very controversial.
And
We caused a lot of problems.
most of these songs even sound
Yeah,
controversial.
it was controversial.
What was the motivation?
The thing was like that time it was the military government took over, and
Excuse me, was that the government that
it
time?
was Jame.
Okay,
It
that
was it was
the beginning
the
of it.
beginning of Jame, and when he took over, it was people were afraid. You know, it's like you can't speak in mind. People were going to jail, and you know you can't speak about like the problems going on in society. You can't speak out. So we was like, nah, man, this is not going to happen. We're going to start a revolution here. We're going to start something. So when we did our first album, we had a song called Cape Koi Bani. Cape Koi Bani. And that song, it was like total against the government. We went from the president down. And when we actually recorded the song in Senegal, because at that time there was only one recording studio in Gambia, and it was very, very expensive. It was like a Lebanese guy that owned it, and it was very expensive. We couldn't afford it, so we had to travel to Senegal and record our first album. But when we released that first song, when we recorded it and came, and we were promoting the first album, we was at the radio station at Radio 1 FM that time.
Before they
burned it down. We went and we were playing, and the DJ was DJ Cora. DJ Cora was like, you know, we're going through the tracks one by one, and then he came to that track, and when he played it, the first 20 seconds, he put the fader down. It's like, put the sound down. He was like, yo, what's wrong with you people? He said, you know that they're going to come here and shut this place down. What you guys are saying. But it's like, why do we have to hide? Because it's like, these are real things that are happening. And it became, it's like, and the thing is, the song blew up.
Seriously?
Yeah, it blew up seriously until we had like oppositions. The opposition from UDP, these guys, they were actually coming, they want us to go and campaign with them. And we told them, look, we're not into this politic thing, you know. We're not into it. We just like try to speak our mind on the problems that we see in the society here. This is ours. We don't support Jamaica, we don't support UDP, we don't support any of those guys. So this is us, you know. And they came to our house. They actually came there and were trying to, you know, talk to the cooks, try to cook us something so we can go with them on tour. It's like, nah, this is not going to happen. But then it became more and more. It became more and more radical. It became more and more. We started having problems with demand, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, you know, and we started having threats in the newspaper and telling us to mind, because there was a time we had it was the Independent Festival, and in July 22nd Square. And
I remember that day.
Yeah, it was live on TV, and Sam went on stage.
And Sam even come live.
Yeah,
from
on
that
stage.
Place it was huge, man.
And he was like live on. It was live on TV, and he's telling.
In front of
the president. He said, tell them we better make a new election. The present constitution has a fake intention. Gambian government. I was like, and the thing is, when he started, the crowd, everybody went.
Exactly.
And the moment he did that, that was when I was like, okay, this is not good. Because that time we were right by the State House. And there were soldiers everywhere. And I'm thinking that day, if we make it across Denton Bridge, we're lucky.
You know, I was one of the Red Cross members.
You were there?
Serving that particular day.
Oh my God!
So the reaction.
Yeah, it was
from the military personnel.
It was not good. I myself, it's like after I was like, this is not really the place for us to come and start doing this now, because we were in their yard.
Yeah, exactly.
We're in their yard saying that, and the crowd, they couldn't do anything because the crowd was into it. So. And when Sam was going on, and I was like, they even had to fade the mic out, and I had to walk behind the stage, creep up, and go to the car.
They cut off the sound.
Yeah, they cut off the sound. Yeah,
they
cut the sound. Yeah. So I had to sneak out. Everybody started sneaking. Even our DJ was like, yo, we gotta go. We have to go. This is not good. So we got in the car, drove straight out of Bantu as fast as we could, and within 3 days I was in Sweden. I was like, I wasn't ready. But like the next day they called Sam, They call his house, the NIA. They call him like,
He need to come
yeah,
to
they were threatening him and telling, and then they wrote in the papers that we have to mind our profile. You know, we are entertainers. We shouldn't be in
Political,
political thing. And
no.
you know, it started. You know, that's when we had a rip off with the government. And
Generally, you were reacting when Joseph said they were so controversial when Yahya Jammeh came to power.
Yeah.
And in Cote d'Ivoire, Tikin Jaffa Koli, many people felt like he was controversial. Alpha Blondy and other artists, many people, some of them felt like they were controversial. What are your thoughts when you are listening to this guy?
You know, somehow, when a musician become a politician, because what he's saying is not member of any political party, but he's reflecting the society's needs. He is telling the government what they're supposed to do, they're not doing it. But the government refused to accept the critics. According to the two other people just named, Alpha Blood and Jacob Fakoli, both guys take a side to begin with. Because no man says you can accept or protect a man who's killed other man. Fakoli, I don't know how he became a port voice of the other party. That was so wrong for him to do. But Alpha Blondy, he is a friend, not even a friend to Gbagbo. He have a son.
Maybe relatives, in fact.
No, he have a son with Gbagbo's cousin.
Okay.
Alpha Blondy. But before he became a celebrity, and the next thing is, when Gbagbo was in power, he received Alpha Blondy. Alpha Blondy even advised him to make a peace with Sorodium. He told Gbagbo, you have to go to one apartment or house, lock the door, and you and Sorodium have to find a solution how to save our nation. That was the idea of Blondy before Gbagbo started to negotiate with other people. But this gentleman, Brice Masai, the fugitive, he is neutral.
Exactly.
His idea how the government don't dare do what they're supposed to do. But no government in this society accept that, apart Europe. Even though sometimes some words in your in your songs, you cannot say it. If you say it, they can hit you somehow or other.
Oh, yeah.
It could create a conflict. So I see his political view, or not even political view. He was worried their songs, their way of thinking.
Patriotic view.
Yes, is just reflecting on the society living daily. Isn't true, my friend?
Very true, very true. We were very neutral when it came to that. We didn't, because we could actually see even the first time, because at that time nobody. It's like now if I hear like when people are talking about activism in Gambia, everybody is like on Facebook and I was like, look, man, we did that
way back,
way before even you who had the you know, most of them were out here saying it. We were there. We were inside. Because even you remember there was when the student strike. You remember demonstration?
April.
Yeah, when they killed the students, we had an open concert in front of. That's the reason. That's why we had Radio 1 FM had a lot of problems, because the guy who owned the radio station, George Christensen, was anti-government. He was not following the rules. He got arrested so many times, locked up in jail, all of that, and they burned the radio station down, and you know, it was a lot of things that happened. And he gave us the land, the platform right in front of the main avenue, Caribou Avenue,
exactly,
to do an open show, to blast out the paramilitary and the government. So, and we did that. It was like 2 days after the demonstration. And we staged the show, open there, everybody could come there, and we invited every other musician to come and speak their mind. And we had the paramilitary was standing.
Of course.
Yeah, they came with their trucks and they were all standing there and what? Nobody, that time, nobody. I think it got to a point where people, it hit the boiling point where people would like really started to lose lose control. And it was very it was mad. It was
tense.
mad. And yeah, and that's where the issue started to come up. It got to a point where, because we were causing a lot of trouble. The president, people don't know about this. I'll tell you this today. He sent the chief of protocol. His chief of protocol, what's his name? He passed away. Fall, something Fall. Mr. Fall. And he sent the chief of protocol, and he said that the president wanted to see us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So he invited us to his state house in his village in Kanilai, where he lived. He sent the car. We went there, all of us, and we came and they put us in this room, and we're sitting there, and like 10 minutes, and we see the man come in. With his,
the chief of protocol.
No. Yeah, himself.
Yeah, the man himself.
The man himself. And he comes into the room, and the first thing he said, he was like, "Sumaraka, you know mabuga yap." He's like in Wolof, he said, "You people want to mess with me."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was the first thing he said when he walked into the room. And so I was like, "No, we don't want to mess with you." It's like, we just speaking truth to power. Mm-hmm. And he sat down, and we started to chat. And we asked him, the moment we started asking him, like, "Okay, did you give orders for your soldiers to shoot the kids?" The moment we started, we put that question to him. His one of his bodyguards was like, "Yo, you people have to, you are not supposed to ask this kind of questions." And yeah, it was like, yeah, he told him to get out. He told the bodyguard to go out. So it was just us and him in the room. And he started to explain himself. He said, "Look," he said, "why should I give orders to the soldiers to shoot students?" He said, "I did not give the order to shoot any kids." He said, "When this happened, I was not even in the country. I was in Cuba." He went to Cuba. And he was like, we told him, "Okay, but since you did not give the order to shoot the kids, what's the consequence? Who are the guys that were responsible for this action?
Someone must be.
Someone must take the fall for this." And he was like, yes, he know. But he said, "This is soldier matter." He said, "This is soldier matter." Because nobody in that battalion, nobody was pointing the finger. They kept it to themselves, in between them. So, yeah, what happened on the field stays there.
Yeah.
And he said that I did not. He said, especially, he said, "You see the situation I'm in right now. I am rotating soldiers every 3rd month," because he himself was having problem. He was insecure himself because there have been so many attempts on his life too. Mm-hmm. So he was rotating soldiers all the time. He said, like, the army was like, they couldn't go so much into detail because nobody was talking. That's why they had a problem. I said, but something gotta give. He said, "Yeah, but that's the way they're still doing they're doing the investigation." So I was like, okay, whatever, But he said that we started to talk to him, like, why is it that he's putting people in prison? Why is he jailing people? Why is it like, all of a sudden, like, one person, they are taking people's stuff away, and he starts to say, he said, "Gambians make you change." He said, "I am not a wicked person, but Gambians, their attitude makes you change." And he starts to give an example. He said, like, if I'm allocating money to build a road, and the Ministry of Works comes to my office, and they come with a proposal and say that, "Look, we want to build this road between here and there." And he tells them, "Okay, what's the cost?" He asks them for the cost. They give him the cost. They ask them, "Okay, what's the deadline?" They give him the deadline, everything. So he allocates the money for them to go and build the road.
And nothing happened.
And then he said, after like a year, he said, I just wake up and I go to the offices to see who was at work. He said, I go to the offices and nobody is there. Nobody is at work. And he goes and asks about the project. How is the project going? And nobody can give him an explanation. Where is the money? Nobody can give him an explanation. And he said those guys who were like the heads of those departments, they're the one, they take that money, they go and build a new house.
Of their own.
They will build a new house, or they marry a second wife. It was always something. So, and he said, and that kind of thing irritates me. When we have money for nation development, and you have my own people who are supposed to help me misusing everything. And then I take them and I lock them up in jail, and people say that I'm wicked.
You take them, you lock them jail, people say that you
You're
are
wicked.
Joe still in the studio. I mean, this amazing program. I'm seeing the general even, looking at these gentlemen extra. But to remind all the listeners, is Radio Bochirka 91.6 FM we are listening here.
Yes,
and we are
91.6.
here with the Fugitives.
Yes,
as usual. With the general as a sidekicker and Jonas Malk always alongside with me. We are going for a music break.
Yes.
Do you have any proposal? I have Gambia, the final call.
Yeah, give it Gambia. This song I recorded. It was the ending of last year. It's called Gambia. Yeah, it's like because after the election, I just wanted something, a new breath of fresh air, and we depend on the tourism for our GDP. So we need trying to make music that for the tourism industry and for the Ministry of Tourism too. So to promote Gambia, and to show everybody that Gambia is a safe place. And this song is called Gambia.
General.
Yes, sir.
Any question to the gentleman before?
No, I just want to listen to the song.
Then the Gambia with Praise Joe Senghore. Here we come. Radio Bochirka 91.6 FM.
Yes.
Keba Jame, General Maluka på spåret här, som vi säger. Lördag som sagt.
Ja, som sagt.
Här kommer det.
Yes.
Yeah. Na 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 yeah. Breeze it. I'm from a land called Gambia, the land of the smiling coast. Yeah, smiling coast, the smiling coast, the smiling coast. I'm from a land called Gambia, the land of the smiling coast. Yeah, smiling coast, smiling coast, the smiling coast.
When that's something.
Gambia, we rock easy. Yeah. So many beautiful smiling faces. And I don't know, sunshine and beaches are so amazing. Take a dip in the ocean, quench your body and your soul, what a feeling. Yeah, yeah. I'm from a land called Gambia, the land of the smiling coast. Yeah, smiling coast, the smiling coast, the smiling coast. I'm from a land called Gambia,
that's the West Coast, man.
the land of the smiling coast. Yeah, no. Listen me out. Take a ride to Serekunda, the place where we find and the hustle never stop, y'all. But you must have gotta see the lockdown. Say they come here where the party don't stop. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So big up the youth, simply come on. Enough respect to all the farmers. Unity and diversity are so we elevate one love.
These guys, it's a scheme. I mean, he's a crook. Because everything's happening today. I mean, yesterday, 500 university bodies that they themselves they build up. They kick them out. No salary. They didn't get paid money. They didn't get paid for 3 years.
Listen, you wanna beach or the sun, or you just wanna relax.
That's what I said. No, this
if
man.
you wanna catch your vibe, music or you wanna be inspired. So Gambia is the place to be. If you need spiritual guidance, or you need soul searching, Gambia is the place to be. If you wanna settle down with some family
in the whole world,
Gambia is the place to be.
No,
Gambia, the land of the smiling coast. Yeah, smiling coast, the smiling coast.
7
I'm from a land called Gambia,
one day
the
they
land
back
of the smiling
out
coast.
roots.
Yeah,
they decide to be the people to represent them. But they don't, we don't see them anymore. You see, since the black people were skin, the black people, yes man, was the one leading us. Because my friend, how dare I can write a paper with you, accept you, but you've been criminalizing me.
Exactly.
See what I mean? These documents, you sign, that means you accept my students. So they rule Africa. You know, when Jamie, check it out. I was thinking about somebody like the after year two, I discovered this guy. He's a madman. He's a psychopath.
Yeah, man.
Now, Jamie is gone. New way of battle. Battle two, he's not there to develop Gambia. No, he's not there. No, he's not there to develop that. No. You know,
So lovely,
in the politics,
so lovely.
especially between the developed nations, there were people that
Girl, you are a mystery. I can see you've been bearing so much agony. Your world is going insanity. You want to see that you and me were meant to be. Girl, I change your history, showing you love, peace, and harmony. Your eyes keep telling me what you need. Don't let me wait no more. It's time that you see the signs that you've been searching for. Cause you are the one for me. Girl, I will hold you tight, and I will make you comfortable. You are my shining star. So woman, you pretty and you lovely, and I want you in my life. Woman, you pretty and you lovely, girl, I need you by my side. Woman, you pretty and you lovely, and I want you in my life. Woman, you pretty and you lovely, girl, I need you by my side. So girl, I hate what your ex-man did to you. He really hurt you so bad. All the lying and the cheating and the fight, he broke your spirit and he broke your heart. Girl, I know if I had you in my life, I will never ever ever make you cry. You divine, you the apple of my eye. Stay with you for the rest of my life. Woman, you pretty and you lovely, and I want you in my life. Woman, you pretty and you lovely, girl, I need you by my side. Woman, you pretty and you lovely, and I want.
Welcome back after the music break. Just to remind you, Kebab på spåret, a Swedish program.
Kebab in the house.
Unfortunately, it's not an English program. This is a Swedish program, but we do this thing exceptional to just promote our homecoming artists. And these are the Fugitives, one of them who are sitting with us here in the studio
Yes,
as well.
Mm.
Praise Joseph Senghore from the Fugitives.
Yes, sir.
Alongside with General,
Yes, sir.
we were discussing about the music career from the start and things that they encountered during the 90s. Now we will just move to the next section.
Yes.
And it is when the entire group just leave the country.
Yes.
Just vanish.
Yeah.
A lot of rumors.
Yeah,
Some
there's
people
been a
were
lot of
saying
rumors. Yeah.
Fugitives were haunted by the former president. Some of them were saying that now they get contract, international contract with recording studio.
Yeah.
Can you just elaborate a little bit on that situation
Yeah.
when you were forced to leave the country?
Yeah, so we left. We were like forced to leave, and but it happened at that. It was like we had contracts before that,
Okay.
because when we started the music in Gambia, we were the first group that started the music. So we started to have contacts, and the first international concert we played was in Germany. That was sponsored by the biggest TV station in Köln. It was an outdoor concert, and there were a lot of big artists that performed that day. And that was where we started. And then we were in Germany for 3 months, and then went back to Gambia, and we went to was in America. We did America. We came back. We did England, and then after we had a recording deal in France with Atoll Music, Atoll Music, yeah, and that's where we were for. We were working in France like for a year, for 1 year with music and artists. So it's like we've been traveling a lot. It's like we've been touring during that time when when we were not in Gambia. We were on the road.
Okay.
We were always on the road. So it's like a lot of traveling, a lot of shows. So and then back to Gambia. It was a back and forth, but we couldn't. The thing is, during that time, we couldn't really sustain, like financially, the music wise, because like even selling records in Gambia was not profitable during that time, because people were not really exposed to, it's not like this generation now that's here, that's all of a sudden everything starts since you had this social media, Facebook, Instagram, all of those things came up. Those times we didn't have those kind of things, and having access to the radio was like luxury. If you get a DJ to play your song at a radio station, you consider yourself to be lucky.
Exactly.
So, and it was during that era when we started, and it was pretty hard, because it's like even when it came to the promotion, like promoters that were there in Gambia, they actually used to look low on the local artists, and they paid the foreign artists
The
more.
Senegalese.
Yeah, Senegalese. And I can tell you that there was one occasion where this Senegalese hip hop group called Dara J. Dara J came to Gambia to perform, and that time we started. It was almost before we recorded our first album, and things were starting to roll for us a little bit. And the guy who brought in Dara J asked us if we could open for them, So we were like, okay, no problem. And we went there, and they were supposed to perform in at the beach, at Fajara Beach, and we came there, we performed, and it started to rain. It started raining, The guy the promoter, they didn't even pay us. He didn't even pay us. He didn't even give us like fare to take taxi or whatever.
Are you serious?
I'm not joking. He came, took the Senegalese artists, put them in his Mercedes, drove away, left us there. We had to walk with our turntable under the rain. Under the rain, walk home.
Wow.
With all that's how it was, because that time even like we opened for Yusundur. We opened at the stadium. We did all of that, but the promoters will never want to pay you. Those days, if they pay you, if you get $1,000, you're lucky. You are lucky. So it was a different mindset that time. It was, and then, we tried to push them. We tried, even when we came out with the album. When we came out, that's the time, because with all this political thing going on, and we were saying stuff, and people, it started to get the attention of people. And, I started to open a little bit, gradually, bit by bit. But even like those days with cassettes, we had to. We didn't have the facilities to record cassettes, to duplicate cassettes. We had to go to Senegal to go and duplicate cassettes and come back. So everything was such a hassle, and then sell it, and you have to. You got your family. You have to. You have to support yourself and all of that. So it became so we decided, okay, you know what? Here is not going to sustain us. If we want to do this now, we know we was on the grind every day, and it was not happening the way it should go. And luckily, we had a sponsor. We had there was this German tour company called FDI that came to Gambia, where AfriCell is up there. Yeah, they used to have that place, and they were the ones who first sponsored us. They gave us like, at that time it was like $150,000 at that time. It was a lot of money. For the entire group. And that was that we went to Senegal. We was in Senegal for a year. And in Senegal, we had much more respect for what we do than our Gambian counterparts. It was completely different. Senegal gave us more respect than.
General,
Yes.
Yeah.
what is your assessment on that?
Well, I'm just passionate to hear what he's saying, and follow exactly what he's saying. But I have some question to him later on when we finish it.
Just carry on.
You know, because one question I'm going to ask you is that how come you are welcome in Senegal, not in Gambia?
Yeah, it was at that time was the mindset. The mindset of people is like they had problem accepting the music. It took a very, very long time for them to like, start supporting us, and it was always a push. It's like whatever, because I remember even our first album, we didn't have any sponsor. Nobody wanted to help us. We went to every office asking for donation help, and they were telling us, look, one company we went to, even the guy who owns QCell. Yeah. He went to, he told us, he said, look, what we are useless. He said, they don't put their money in music. We are useless. He said it's just waste of time. That's what the people are telling us. I'm fighter. We don't have I'm fight. That's what they were telling us.
Now he's putting millions.
Yeah, he's putting now that's what I'm telling you. That's how it will turn. But when we started, it was not like that. All these guys that sitting here talking about we're sponsoring this, but no, man.
But it was not because you people are criticizing the government.
No, it was not because that was before even before we started criticizing the government. That was when we released the album.
Okay.
But before that, we needed funds to go and record the album in Senegal. And that time because we didn't have studios in Gambia, we had to go to Senegal. And Senegal, it costs money. If you want to rent the rest per hour, you have to.
It's a lot of money.
It costs a lot of money.
That's right.
And we didn't have the money to do it. We didn't have the money. So we were looking for donations and, explain what our project, what we want to do. And they were telling us that we were Nyaka fight. Nyaka fight, that means like we were, we are like aimless.
Yes.
That's what they were telling us. That we are aimless. We don't know what we are doing. We are aimless grown men like us. We don't know they're going something better with our lives. That was what we were getting.
I mean, it's not because they didn't have any understanding of the music you're playing.
They had the understanding.
But how come they activated
What happened? What happened was, I'll tell you. What happened was we went around. We couldn't get any donation. So all my friends, everybody, all our boys, everybody, we flopped. We put money together. Everybody's like, this one came with this one came with that, this one came with this, one came with that. We took the little money we had. We went to Senegal. We was in Senegal. We didn't have any place to do. A friend of ours, it's like a praise singer. It's a gewel. They call it the gewel people, yeah. And they live in a compound, this big compound. And we were sleeping outside. We slept outside. They had the big yard, the courtyard. In Dakar, yeah. In Medina. And we were sleeping outside. We had small money for food. We didn't have money to take taxi to go to the studio. We had to walk every day to go to the studio. I was in Dakar for 2 months. Can you imagine? There, living in that small place, we eat 1 meal a day, walk to the studio. And the studio, when we got there, all the studios were booked. So the only time they had to record was like 12 o'clock at night. So we go there and we sit there till 6 in the morning in a very small studio. Very, very, like, almost half the size of this.
I think Jodas have a question to you.
That I understand him, because his music industry was like that in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you, like, this we are talking, I know that for a long time, like in Congo.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the group like Papa Wemba.
Papa Wemba, yeah.
It's very big.
Mm-hmm.
He never paid the people who following him. He tell them, we go to Europe, then you can get. This I getting is mine.
Yes.
That was the system before.
Yeah.
In Congo, is Kofi Olomide who changed it. Because of that, every year Kofi was big because he's paying the
people,
musicians.
Yeah.
And sometimes, the group, musician, they are coming to him because what he do, come to me, I buy you a car. When you come, he don't give you a Mercedes. And the group they begin to wake up. Because That I understand.
Yeah.
You. It was not easy.
It was not easy.
During the 90s, it
Was very tough.
Especially in the Gambia, because
Gambia.
I mean, many African countries, they adopt the system, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We were even watching, I mean, musics from Ivory Coast,
Mm-hmm.
from Congo, from Senegal. We never had our own
TV station,
homegrown artists. I mean, the only one we knew, it was a traditional singer, traditional singer, Jaliba Kouyaté, nothing more than that. So these people, they came as a phenomenon within the society. So, I mean, both the system and the people, they never adopt themselves into it until the later part.
Yeah.
But now, the Fugitives, after all those success, after all those strugglings, I mean, the whole entire Gambia know who you are.
Yeah.
The whole entire world, almost they know who
Yeah,
Fugitives
we
were.
did a whole
Suddenly,
lot.
I see the whole entire group in Sweden. How comes?
Oh man, it's like it wasn't the thing. It wasn't. Sweden wasn't planned because also we were like globe hopping. We were everywhere, brother. It's like, you know, when we started, when the music started to pick up, because we pushed it to a point where it's like we were like, to hell what people say in Gambia, we're gonna do our thing, and if Gambia can't accept us, we go find it somewhere else.
Exactly.
So that's how it was. It was a real struggle, and it was not easy because like people, they don't want to pay you. It's like it's always some kind of, everybody was in, they were not into it, you know. And when we got to Senegal was different. Senegal, and we were with the biggest rap stars in Senegal. They're the ones who were paying homage to us. There's streets in Dakar that you actually go there, you see all the groups, all the hip hop groups' names, and our name is there. We even had the radio programs in Dakar. We even play at Miss Senegal. In this place. What's this place? In Saint Louis. We play in Saint Louis.
Saint Louis is the first capital city of Senegal.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Before Senghore took over the power.
Exactly.
No, even the first capital was a city where all African leaders from West African French-speaking colonies was educated.
Exactly.
Yes, Saint Louis.
And some of them were kept there before transporting them to Gabon.
Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly.
So continue.
That's how it was. It's like we had. It was more. We had a lot of performance in Senegal, and then a lot of these artists invited us, and it was good. It was like the feeling we had over there was completely different from the feeling I had over there. You felt like it was something. Right. You understand? And then it happened and we got lucky because the songs we were putting out, it was not only local songs. We had songs that were like kind of international. It had a flair to it. So we had this German lady that came to Gambia, and she heard us. She heard our songs. She saw what we were doing, because we were actually pushing hard. We had concerts. We had open concerts. It was our own money. Everything that we did came from our pocket. Nobody was trying to help us, or nobody wanted to do anything. So we were pushing. But people, after they gradually started to see that these guys were not messing around, and you know, when they saw that when we put that political song out too, everybody started paying attention. Everybody's like, and that's where it started, and the name started coming up. Then this lady came and she saw us. She was very impressed. She was like, you know, she couldn't believe that, you know, things like this were happening in Gambia. So we went, signed a contract with her, and that's how she hooked us up to play in Germany. That was the first show we had, the first international show. It's on YouTube, very big. It's like a big concert, very big concert. That was the first time we played international. And when we were in Germany for 3 months and then went back to Gambia, within 1 month, we had contact to go and play in the U.S. We started the U.S. I was in the U.S. like for 8 months, and then came back to Gambia, went to England. I had a whole tour from England to Scotland, everywhere. And then when we came from England, we had a record deal in France. So when we went in France, that's when we did that song, Who Them. Who Them, yeah. That song was recorded in France. And that's where everything started. And, you know, we were at this show. There were a lot of shows. We were traveling here and there, and, you know. And then we had a show here in Sweden, you know. And even Sweden here, we had a record deal in Sweden here.
That's what I'm.
Yeah, we had.
What I'm coming into.
Yeah.
Because before you come here, I mean, I have made my researchments too, and according to some of my sources, you know, this thing. It was a GMC, or what is the name of the recording?
It's what's the name again?
Anyway, you know, people were assigned here according to what I
Yeah, we were signed. We were signed there. We performing. It was like we had the Morons TV program at TV4.
Exactly.
We performed there. I did. We performed. We did Studio Accompagniert. We did bands. We did Mirbo Huset. We did what's this place? Narland. We did Muncha Brigadier. We did a lot of performances. We shot a video called "It's All Good." The sound because we had a record studio there called Double Dogs Records. He leading it, and they were assigned to we were assigned to them, and that's how we started to make music here, and that's how we got stuck here. Because and then people meet girls and then the whole charade started.
And you get stuck.
And then you get stuck.
From nowhere.
And then
Tasman is in Gambia.
Maho
is in Gambia.
Maho, he's in England now. He was here like
Sam George is everywhere.
Yeah, he's everywhere. That's why he's
So what happened to Fugitives?
Fu is like life kicked in. It's not easy. It's like with a group after all these years. It's like people grow up, we grow up, and then, responsibility kicks in, and, you gotta have a kid, and, you have to, it gets more, but, we still work together. We still do. We just released a video. That was a year and a half ago. It's called Salam Alaikum. We was in Gambia. Okay. All of it. We did a video. We still work together. Even at Mohawk, right now, today he even sent me a file, and we're doing the song together too again.
All right.
Yeah, we work. It's like it's just like it's not like it's just because we're here, but everybody has their life. But when it's time for us to work together, it's like we gotta do this, and we come and we do it. So,
but as I understand, you focus more of a solo thing.
Right. Because the thing is, with Mohawk was studying. He was studying sound engineering in Birmingham, University of Birmingham. And what's his name? Sam had his own thing going on. Tasman, he has a audio visual company that he's called Great Thinkers in Gambia. He does like audio visual. Even Mohawk too has like a studio. We everything pertaining to music we do. So we still work together. It's like, and now since I started when I worked with them. That's why I'm telling you that now I have to focus on mine, because a lot of people have been telling me for years that I have to do my own thing. I have to try and do a solo. Because even Mohawk did a solo album. Mo did a solo album.
Okay.
Sam is doing a solo album. Tasman also did a solo. I didn't do mine. And most of them, I just happen to be working with other people all the time, because I started when I worked with a group called Stockholm Migrates.
Okay.
And Stockholm Migrates, we were into production, and we did a lot of beats like Jamaican dancehall reggae, and it was really good, really good. We have music on Spotify, did a lot of videos, and we were touring like Germany, Eastern Europe, Czech Republic, Slovakia, all of those places. So the music, that part hasn't really left me. It's still there. It's like.
But what are the upcoming plans?
Upcoming plans right now, everything depends on my boys, because right now Mo wants us to do like a project. We also like drop our projects and stuff like that, and so right now we and him we're working on it. It's up to the other guys. It's up when they whenever they want to come and join it. It's not a problem for us. We don't have issues with it at all. But like we can't stop the music. It's part of that party has to. It has to. I have a studio in my house. I record every day. You know what I mean? So right now, I'm working on my own project called Intoxication. Intoxication. Because when it comes to music, it's very hard, because I've done so much in music. It's not I'm just only a reggae singer or R&B singer. I even did rock music to a point. There was a band I used to work with called Yard Noise.
Okay.
And we performed in the rock festival in Hulsfred. I was the only black guy there with a bunch of heavy metal. Yeah, it's like I did it all. And I consider myself to be like an all-rounder. I don't have a specific genre. It's like whatever kicks me, I go for it.
You go for
I
it.
go for it. And that's the thing. Like people always ask me, well, what kind of music do you do? I say, I do everything. It's like if you listen to my portfolio, what I have is like it's different genre of music. Different genre of music.
General.
Yes, sir.
We are coming to the end of the program.
That's right.
Before closing, do you have any remarks to the gentleman? And from there, then we give him chance, to make his closing remarks. And we thanks our entire audience, until next Saturday. But what are your closing remarks and what are your words to these fine gentlemen that have struggled all his entire life to promote, the music atmosphere and the music industry, in the Gambia, when it was the most difficult time, to do so. So what are your words?
Well, I was wishing to the gentleman my left side here.
Yes, sir.
That the reunion of the Fugitives and the release a new LP.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, man, that would be really great, man. I'm really looking forward to that. The thing is, I have to get all these guys together. It's hard because, like, if you have one living there and the other one, I have to get them in. But it's easy. It's easy to work. I just have to get them together.
But as we are living in this high technological world, everything is possible.
Everything is possible. So
you try, and regroup yourself because Gambia needs you.
No, man, we have to. We can't
there
die,
are
man.
many
It's
things that,
it's food for
can
life.
implement, in the country, and there are many youths, who
are coming up now.
Yeah, who are coming up, and these people, you are the one who inspired them.
Yeah.
When you people were kicking in, nobody was in existence.
Oh yeah.
So for that, you have my respect. Huge respect for the whole entire group and for you.
Thank you.
And if you have any closing remarks, to our audience.
Yeah, I just want to say, man, the Fugitives is not dead. We have a slogan called "Food for Life."
Food for life.
FU for life. Yeah, that part is like it never goes away, and music is always going to be part of us, no matter what the consequences are. We still keep on pushing, and right now I'm working on my album, my EP called Intoxication, and probably the first 2 months next year, within March, I'm going to drop the first video. But I have already dropped a single called "Gotta Be With You" on Spotify. It's called Go on and type in the Breezy.
We will be glad to have your sounds so that we can promote you.
No problem.
So you feel free to contact me.
Anytime. Yeah, I just want to say thank you to y'all, man. That was like a wonderful interview, and like big up Radio 91.6 for linking up. Enough respect. Big up.
Thank you very much, sir. It is a privilege and an honor,
Yes,
As you see it, I've never been such a glad person. The smile you are seeing in my face, it is very rare to see that. Because, I have my own homies, in the studio today. And for me, it's always, a huge thing to invite people who are making, tremendous changes, within our society. And these are the people that we need to, support and uplift them to reach their destination, for the interest of the whole, entire nation. And I will be glad, to be here, to support you people through to, play your sounds during my programs. Anytime you have concert, we can come and cover it. We will do anything we can do in our power, to see that, you people are still in existence. The Gambian populace will not forget you. Once again, I say special thanks to you, for at least giving the Gambians such amazing thing. We appreciate it. One of your songs, "Stick It." Can you elaborate a little bit about it?
Stick It. That's I call that grown man music. that's some grown. That's like it's a kind of intimate lovers reggae kind of. Yeah, it's like went into a lot of details with that, but it's a wicked sound, man. It was produced by this production company called Oneness Band. Is in Germany. Yeah, and this one is going to be on my EP too. So it's called Stick It. It's about a woman. You know, so
then we do it like that.
Yeah, it's called Stick It. That's why I call some grown man music. Yes, I.
Yeah, you stick it with Joseph Senghore, aka Brace.
Yes, I.
This is 91.6 FM. The program is Keba Postport, song that we send every Saturday, 7 o'clock in Radio Bochilka here, alongside with General and Jodas Malik. Today we are a special guest from the Fugitives, a legendary group that was existing in the Gambia, and one of them, it is the golden man. I mean, with the golden voices, as we always say it. Joe, thank you for coming to the studio. Yeah. And do you have anything?
I something I want to say. That's a song. That's a song that's coming on. That's my second single coming out. And it's called X5.
X5.
It's called X5, and it's an Afro beat. This one. That's my second single.
Okay, then
you go for that one. Yes.
With praise.
Yes, I.
Joe Senghore. 91.6 FM. Next Saturday.
This guy is like a diamond. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, she's a diamond. Cruising in my X5 plate, sound from the speaker bumping all of my shit. Got the windows down, speeding down the strip, with nothing on my mind, just burning down the stuff. Ooh, just a minute after, came across shorty, she was on the sidewalk, brown-legged, bone-legged to die for.